Oh, hey! How you guys doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers! Good morning. It's about 11:30 in the morning. I actually woke up at 9:30. The reason why is not because I woke up at 9:30 on my own, is because the guy from YRC Shipping knocked on my door and my dog Bobo was barking like a mother. Anyway, so I had to crawl out of bed, open the door, and move my van so the dude could bring my summer shipment from my friends over at Lucas Oil Products. So I got my supply for the summer. It's not like it's going to make any difference because Nick, Larry, and Bobby are just going to take it all. Anyway, so my friend Don the Echo Man, Don Echo Guy, he was like, I mean, that dude's got like eagle eyes, man. He was saying, hey, Henry. Well, I should do my voice.
Hey, Henry, you really should put an ammeter in here. It's empty.
And I says, man, oh man, I have got some very bright subscribers with eagle eyes. How do you even see that? You know what I mean? Anyway, I removed the ammeter because I was painting the dash, and I didn't want the glass on the ammeter gauge to get all black. So I removed it. You reminded me to put it back on, so I'm going to put that ammeter back on. And then my buddy Deke W., he's the guy who named my Blue Craftsman GT 6000 the Blue Bayou. Anyway, Deke says that I should spray some tire shine on the wheels. That'll fetch top dollar. I don't know if Deke actually talks like that. I'm just not sure. Anyway, so what do you think, speaking of that, what do you think I could get for this thing? You know what I mean? I mean, I know I can't get a bag of sand for it. Maybe I could get a carpet and a monkey? Maybe a carpet and 2 ton? I'm not sure. I guess I'd be pretty happy if I just got a monkey out of it. Let me know if you know what in bloody hell I'm talking about. Let me tell you something. Who's that? So looky here. Remember I was showing you guys yesterday about those new holographic stickers that I had? I only had 12. Well, after that video, guess what happened? That's right. You guys bought them all. Sold out in like half an hour, man. It was just like nonstop. After I uploaded the video, I waited like about an hour or so, and all of a sudden, ding, 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 cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. My eBay app was going nuts. Everybody bought I mean, everybody that, you know, got a hold of the link, whatever, which is in the description of every video, to my eBay store and the links to the stickers. I mean, they sold out in like a half an hour. I couldn't believe it, man. So I was right. From that video, you know, you guys saw the quality of those stickers. Really cool looking, you know what I mean? Thank you guys very much for buying those stickers, man. I mean, they're so nice, I didn't even want to get rid of them. I wanted to kind of keep them. But so what happened was, obviously, they're going to be very popular stickers, right? And I think eventually that's all I'm going to sell is just those. I get tired of kind of sorting through the different versions and stuff, you know. But the one that I showed you on camera yesterday, those are really nice. And I think I'm just going to sell those, you know what I mean? They're modern looking, they're cool because they're holographic. You don't really see those stickers very much out there, you know what I mean? So it'll be kind of unique, you know? And it also has the Lucas Oil emblem on it, which is cool too, you know? So I ordered 50 more. They were a little bit cheaper because I get a discount for buying 50 as opposed to just 10, you know what I mean? So they cut you a little bit of a break. It's still pretty expensive, but you guys are worth it. So here is I mean, I can't do so many shout outs in person, so here's to the guys that donated money yesterday and bought those new holographic stickers. Thank you again. So here's my summer shipment. They basically let me order pretty much whatever I need, you know, within reason, because they know that, you know, I'm not a motorsports team or anything like that. I think I'm pretty much their only YouTuber talent, you know. When I say talent, I mean, you know, a sponsored talent, you know. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only YouTuber that they sponsor, which I am touched and honored to represent Lucas Oil Products. They're very generous to me. They're very good to me. They give me whatever I need to continue plugging Lucas Oil, and I'm happy to plug them because, as you guys have seen for the past year or so, I mean, I just use Lucas Oil Products, and I love it. It's never failed me, you know. And in return, they're very grateful for me always promoting the product, you know. So I feel like I'm an ambassador to the brand. It's true though, because every time I use stuff, some of you guys try it, you know. So that's how marketing works, you know. If I use something that I think works well, and I tell you that it works well, you're actually taking my word for it, and I'm vouching for them, you know. You guys would go out and maybe try a bottle yourself, or, you know, one of their products, and you'll see that they are superior to any other brand that I've actually used, you know. That penetrating oil, I don't think that's ever failed me, and you guys know how much penetrating oil I use, right? The contact cleaner, the multi-parts cleaner and degreaser, and even their brake fluid. I mean, I use all that stuff, you know, and it's great for carb cleans. And you guys know, us small engine guys, we do carb cleans like most of the time, you know. My buddies, my squad, Jason Pate, Mondo, Nick from Medford, Larry and Bobby, I've been giving them some product, you know, here and there over the past few years, and they swear by it too. That's why they're always asking for it. Well, not only because I give it to them, but it works, you know, and that's one of their hashtags. It works. Anyway, so I got, I mean, I'm out. I am out of penetrating oil. I have like maybe 2 cans left, you know what I mean? Because I've been giving them away to Nick and to Larry. They've been more busier with the lawn tractors than I have been. That guy Nick from Medford, that guy is King Midas. Whatever he touches turns to gold. He's been selling mega lawn tractors for big money too, and so as a result, he's always trolling the selling apps. You know, like Craigslist. The Let Go app, and Facebook Marketplace. So he's always trolling. I mean, if he's not holding his phone, looking at it every few seconds while he's turning a wrench or whatever, you know, he's going to miss out on a great deal. And that's how he gets it. He gets a great deal, shines him up with the secret potion, which he'll never tell me the secret to it. Maybe one day he will, but I doubt it. And he makes that secret potion he has. He makes those tractors look brand new, you know. And he gets top dollar from. Anyway, so he was trolling Let Go yesterday, right when I was uploading the video, right, of this Franken tractor nightmare, right. And I took pictures of it outside and I posted it on Let Go. And immediately, right, it's like when I pressed submit, ding, he writes me, and he knows it's me, you know. So he writes this. Is that it? That's the one I gave you? And I says, that's it, baby! And he goes, you should change your name to Henry Customs. It looks great. It does look pretty good. I will say, from what it was to now, complete transformation. Not only that, it works well too. It's not just pretty, it's actually smart too. You know when you meet a girl and she's like so hot, right? But she's dumber than a bag of rocks, you know what I mean? Not that you really care, right? But will you marry her, though? Well, maybe you'll marry her. I'm not sure. Anyway, this tractor's not only pretty, it works great. Anyway, so I got a couple of cases of penetrating oil, a couple of cases of multi-parts cleaner and degreaser. I really need that stuff. Brake parts cleaner, contact cleaner. Another 2 of my favorites, right? And this Toolbox Buddy. Last time I requested the Toolbox Buddy, right? They only gave me the small little squeeze bottles, you know? So I made sure that I designated aerosol cans. The aerosol cans, I mean, the reason why I like them is because this Toolbox Buddy, right? It works just as good as WD-40. It doesn't smell as good as WD-40. WD-40 smells good. And you could drink WD-40 too. No, you can't drink it. I wouldn't drink this either. But this is some good stuff. So I got a case of that, which is going to be great. Got some SAE 30 motor oil, which is what I use mostly, right, on summer machines. I got a couple of cases of, a bunch of cases of SAE 5W20 synthetic. Reason why I got like 5 cases of that was because I think my van takes 5W20. That's what I read somewhere, that my Ford Econoline E350 Super Duty Triton 5.4 takes 5W20 motor oil. So I figured, you know, maybe I'll do my own oil change one day. And I also have some 5W30. A couple of cases. I don't really remember why I got 5W30. It'll come to me one day. But I'm going to be busy putting this back on my shelves and trying to store it away. I realized I didn't have a muffler guard, so I went to my shed and pulled this out. Fits perfectly. Had to bend it back into shape. It was all bent out of shape. Just go over it with some 98 cent foot color from Home Depot. Hey guys, so little change of pace today. I have these 2 push mowers that I got from my van. One of them was from a tip from Frank the UPS guy, and the other one I don't even remember. But anyway, just a quick triaging of what's going on with these, right? First one is this one here. This is actually a newer Yardmachines 21-inch 550 EX. EX is the auto choke, right? Has gas in it. Check the oil, and it's missing the air cleaner and the air cleaner cover, and there's oil all over the place over here. The right front wheel was towed in, so I used a crowbar and bent it back out, so it's good now. And you know what I just did? I just pulled it. So as you can see, it surges, hesitates, and all that. So I think it just needs a carb clean. The cover I know costs like $10, which you know I'm not going to buy. So I don't know. This one here, it seemed like the blades were stuck. Like I tried to pull this and it wouldn't pull. It was like hard to pull. I mean, you couldn't even pull it, you know, it's like it was seized. So then there was no spark plug in there, right? So I just turned the blades with my hands with no spark plug in it, and it started to move a little bit, you know what I mean? Loosened it up a bit. I put a spark plug in, RJ19LM, that one. Put it in. Because the spark plug was in there, compression was higher, so I couldn't pull it at all. Took the spark plug back out again. Took the spark plug boot off, turned it with my hand, put it back on, pulled it. It actually started. It started on the first pull after priming, right? This is one of those Pulsajet carburetors that is attached to the gas tank. You know, it's an older version. But the primer seems to work well, and it's fired up on the first pull. It vibrated a ton. Let's see if it does that. Man, oh man. So the engine starts up just fine. When I lifted this up, just with the naked eye, you could see that the crankshaft is bent. So that'll be kind of interesting, you know. I'm going to put it on its side or something, take the blade off, take the sledgehammer and just whack it. just to see if I can get it straighter. You know what I mean? So that's that. This one's going to need a carb clean. I'm pretty sure. What should I do first? It's hot out, too. I don't even really want to do it at all. But it has to be done. We have 2 working engines here on decent decks. It's 50 to 75 to $100 easy. This could sell for a ton. A ton. I don't mean a ton of money. I mean just slang. A ton. So this is interesting enough for me to start this first. You know why? Because I'll be honest with you, it's been over a year since I whacked the crankshaft. You know, to unbend it. Since we have to tilt this on its side, right? You want to tilt it towards the dipstick, which is right here. It's also the side of the muffler, which I don't like to do, you know? But it needs to be done so we can expose. I want to make sure that it doesn't drip Earl out of the muffler onto my driveway. Not that Earl is all that bad for the driveway. It's gas that's bad for the driveway. Earl, you'll just have a, you know, yucky black stain, but Earl is actually okay for the driveway, other than the black stain, of course, but it's actually the gas that'll actually deteriorate your asphalt. Now let's take the blade off. It looks like a 1/2 inch, feels like a 1/2 inch, and it's not a 1/2 inch. It is a 9/16. 9/16 to get the, no, it's not even a 9/16. Probably a 5/8. 5/8. Of course I don't have a 5/8 near me. Do I have a 5/8 near me? Of course I have to get the 3/4 out. Of course I do. It's never available when you need it. Sons of guns. Alright, here's a 5/8. Ah! It's a 5/8. 5/8, huh? For this little thing? Nice blade. Straight. Sharp. Has a few nicks in it, but maybe it's not that good of a blade. I'm not sure. I'm going to take the spark plug boot off so I don't chop my hands off. You know, that might not have been a good idea. I should have kept the blade on there. Bet you guys are all screaming at me. No, Harry, don't take it off. There's a lot of oil here, too. A lot. As a matter of fact, I question whether or not the seal is good. Ooh, it be a gurgling. I know all that Earl's going to pour out of that muffler. Yep, it's bad. Really bad. Reason why it's so bad, right? That's why you can't even turn the crankshaft. It's bent like... I think this engine's Dunsky. Because it's bent really bad. You guys can't see it from here, but you can tell because of the crank seal. There's more space between the crank seal and the crankshaft on one side than the other. And that is why there's so much oil, because the oil is leaking out of the crank seal due to the bent crankshaft. The crankshaft is bent so bad that it actually bent inside the engine. But you can notice with the naked eye that it is bent a few degrees. So I've rotated it to where the stem is on the highest point. Now, you know, you could just put a string onto the center, you know, and then rotate and stuff and see how far it droops. But it's so apparent to me how bent it is that I have it now bent upward. So I'm just, you know, I'm not going to take too much stock in what's going on here. It's just a push mower. It's cheap too. If it was a little bit more expensive, I might think about it, you know, but I'm just going to whack it. It's really bent badly, so it'll be tough to do, but I'm just going to whack it a few times down because it's now bent up like that. See, there's no way that's going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. That actually might have done something. Maybe. But that's all I'm going to do with this. I'm not going to take too much time to do this. Because a bent crankshaft, unless you had what my friend John Pruss over at Turning Wrenches, he's got one of those crankshaft straighteners. And my friend Jason also does stuff like this, but I don't really want to do this kind of stuff. Now, I think it should smoke a lot because a lot of oil was gurgling, you know what I mean? So you saw I whacked it a few times. Put the spark plug boot back on. That feels worse. Holy cow. It's hardly vibrating. I mean, there's a little vibration, but it's not that bad. As I said, it's going to smoke a lot because it was hydrolocked from being on its side, rotating. How about it? I think those whacks actually worked. It is revving really high, you know what I mean? And then because of the oil leaks, I want to check the oil at level because it actually works now. Unbelievable. Needed like a couple of ounces of oil to top off. Like I said, it revved really high. So this lever over here was all the way to the right, which means it was pulling at really strong. So I pulled the lever to the left a little bit. Man, you know, I gotta tell you, those whacks fixed it. It's unbelievable. Stokage. I had to get out of the sun. I mean, it's another scorcher. About 2 weeks now with no rain. I just manually started my sprinklers to get it in the area. So this part over here, you want to loosen this spring. No? It doesn't seem like it's that tight. unusual because there's no tension on the spring whatsoever. It's like the governor is, it's hard to explain. But it almost feels like you need a spring that pulls it back, you know, or at least a bumper over here to stop it from going any more than that, you know. Because these springs are loose, you see what I'm saying? But it just, you want it to go the other direction, is what it is. But the carburetor seems clean, starts on the first pull every time, you know. So I put a little fuel line in between the throttle and this metal bracket where you bend it, you know? So that takes up the space to the RPMs. So listen now. There you go. That limits the RPM for it to get too out of control. I think it has something to do with the governor gear. When you bang the crankshaft that violently, something moved just a little bit inside the engine, right? So now the governor is not exactly where it's supposed to be, you know? It's not the space shuttle, though, man. It's just a push mower. I can't believe how that indiscriminate whack of just from looking at it from the naked eye, how I bent that crankshaft back into shape. It hardly vibrates at all now. I'll probably sell this for 50 bucks. You know, it's a working lawnmower, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to put everything back and we're going to tackle that other one, the 550EX, with the dirty carburetor. So, the second lawnmower, the 550EX Yardmachines, a twist. I just decided to lift it up and look on the bottom and check out the condition of the blade. There is no blade. There's no blade or adapter, which can cause, well, first of all, I'm surprised the engine ran at all, right? But that causes that feeling you get where it sounds like it runs rough because nothing's balanced, you know? You got no resistance on the crank. It's just free-flowing. So I'm thinking maybe the carburetor might still be okay. I mean, it still looks yucky, so I'm pretty sure you got to clean it. But number one, I got to go find a blade adapter and a 21-inch blade. As you can see, this, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's in that carburetor with no air cleaner and no cover, you know? Plus, there's oil all over the place. But the main thing is there's no blade and adapter, which can cause this thing to go nuts, you know? So I think if I find a blade and an adapter, put it on, maybe it might run better and we won't have to clean the carburetor. So after I charge my phone, as you know, I got this one running by banging the bent crankshaft. Starts up just fine. As you know, I took this apart. Well, I looked underneath to see if to check out the blade, and it was missing the blade and the blade adapter. Well, you know what happened? I know why it was missing. Because the crankshaft bolt holding the blade and the adapter was broke, and the piece was inside the shaft. So I sprayed a little bit of penetrating oil from my friends over at Lucas Oil Products, and tried to drill it out. But as I was drilling it, it kind of moved a little. So I just slowly took some needle nose pliers, and it just came right out. So the bolt came out, I found another one, I got another blade, and then I looked carefully. This crankshaft was bent too. I couldn't believe it. The reason why I knew that is because when I put the new blade and the adapter on there, right, it was vibrating like mad, like almost jumping, doing bunny hops and stuff. So then I did the same thing. I whacked it with a sledgehammer in different directions and stuff, and still vibrates a little, but you could use it pretty well. They both start up one pull, right? And I just power washed it in the backyard. Man, they really cleaned up very, very well. You know, they're in pretty good shape, you know, so that's why it was covered with oil and dirt and stuff, and a power wash just made it look brand new, you know. I'm not going to sell these things for a lot of money. Maybe I'll ask for 50 bucks on this one and maybe 75 on this one if I'm lucky. This one had a side discharge grass deflector which nobody ever, knows what it's for or whatever. And I mean, it's obvious for us, but I'm just going to sell this online on eBay because I do that. Every time I get an extra deflector or whatever, I sell it for 10, 15 bucks, So that's that. These things worked out great. 2 mowers in one day, both of them bent crankshafts. Can you believe that? I mean, what are the chances that I get 2 lawnmowers that have bent crankshafts? Nice. Well, a little bit of a change of pace. Thanks all for watching again. And today we got 2 lawnmowers, 2 push mowers that I found off the street. Got them for free, thanks to a tip from my friend Frank, the UPS guy. 2 bent crankshafts, whacked it with a sledgehammer, rotating it to see if it's straight. With bent crankshafts, unless you have that special unbender, right, for crankshafts, it's really just luck of the draw, you know what I'm saying? But to get them so that they don't vibrate too much and have them usable, workable for somebody, you can sell these things as is, for cheap. But that's it for today. Thanks a lot for following me along on today's episode, and we'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Hey Henry, it's Andy from the UK, aka Mower Wizard. See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers!